Oh, absolutely. And by the way, the word Al-Qaeda is no longer politically correct. The word Al-Qaeda, jihadi, Islamo-fascist is now removed from terrorists. And terrorists is anybody that is not towing the line.
And that's it. They always say, we don't profile because we're not racist. No, it's their excuse to go after everybody. Even if you believe these Muslims are doing it on their own, none of the attack profile has anything to do with them.
Well, the point is, Alex, is that they've generated the problem. They're providing the solution. The solution is simply this. Under the dialectic, all freedom, all freedom. You know, they've even planned that you're going to only be allowed to eat 1,500 to 1,800 calories
Oh,
a
no,
day.
they're already, in going back 5 years, taking people's kids in the U.S. and U.K. People think it's just for the giant fat kid. No, they're admitting that they're going to set a very low body weight for everybody, and if you can't pass it, they're going to take your kids.
Well, yeah, and can I tell you something? When people say they can't, my answer and your answer are the same. They are doing it now. Well, that's unconstitutional.
Well, this is the issue. This is the issue. We've gone from 300,000 cops to 2 million. They're talking about doubling that again. But when my car gets stolen or my house gets broken into, the police won't come out. When there were 300,000 cops 12 years ago, they'd come out. Now they won't come out. This is about us.
Yeah, that's because their motto used to be to
protect and serve. That's it. They're looking, Stevie's bringing up so many points, they're looking for things to attack in our lives. And I'm not attacking the average cop, but it's designed, it is for us. It is for the general public. Go ahead.
Right. It's gone from protect and serve to target and destroy. Listen, I've got to tell you this. Even in Montana, we've got Department of Homeland Security. We've got all these black Durangos with Hemis, basically cruising the highways. I mean, the fact is that people have got to understand, we're not the enemy, and they don't care about your tax. And they say, well, what about their families? Their families, those who, the elite, will be bivouacked or they'll be rescued to some secret place. The point is that it's the total decimation. See, these guys are willing dupes. Again, Alex, we plead with those in the military and law enforcement communities that think that somehow they're just going to round up all the crazies and they get to live. No, you guys, the very same people that are destroying us and mind-controlling you. And let me share this. The weather modification, the Bernard Eastland, the HAARP patent designer, died. But the point is that the mind control, people that challenge you and I would just get off their lazy fingers and type in mind control patents, they're going to find out that all of the strange electromagnetic phenomenon that can be experienced in the sky, the moire patterns, that would be the cloud patterns, the striations, all that stuff is indicative that, look, specific frequencies can generate anger, they can generate lethargy, they can generate, they can put you to sleep, and all of
Let me stop you. There was another Baltimore Sun article in 2002, and I've got it around here somewhere. I want somebody to dig it up on the web and find it and post it on the PresentPlanet.com forums or something, because I remember all this stuff. Just like in 6 months, I'll say, remember that police chief who said they wear black uniforms to intimidate us? Well, I read that in documents, 6 years ago, but point is, here it is today. We won't remember that in a few months, exactly where it came from. But it said that DARPA wasn't just working on brain scanners for the airports, but they were working on aggressive systems to calm whole crowds. And it said they were going to use added systems on cell phone towers to put out wavelengths to calm and soothe us during emergencies. And so it's admitted what you just said.
Absolutely. See, nothing. I tell people, I've done my homework, so before you come after me or come after Alex, you go do your homework. I don't think people realize how much time that you and I spend doing this stuff. And we do check our sources. We do basically try and get 2-3 times a witness. In other words, it's got to be more than just one person saying it. Yet when it's all said and done, Alex, it's just, oh, well, but what's the newest Hollywood starlet that's having sexual issues? Or, what's the nonsense of this ad nauseum political process? Look, the very country is at stake. People who think that they're going to get a change in Obama or Hillary or John McCain. Look, as the former head of the Fed told a friend of mine, he put his arm around him, not Greenspan. And this gentleman, a tall man, said, hell, son, we own them all. And again, you've done shows on the Federal Reserve. I've done them until, I don't want to do them anymore. Because, look, it's not a question of just understanding what's happening. It's the point is you have to use all this knowledge to basically get yourself, your family, your loved ones out of harm's way.
But I want to explain the mindset here for people, though, Steve. I want to explain the mindset of these elites. because, and then even the low-level minion thinks they're part of the elite when they talk about, yes, son, we own them all, just like the high level. The genetic engineering, the fact that their grandkids are eating GMO foods that are hurting them badly, the fact that I see Bill Clinton on TV drinking Diet Coke, they don't even care about themselves. It's just like, I don't care, kill, kill, kill. It is just such an evil mindset, spirit that they have.
Absolutely. The real powers that be, as was told to me by one of the most famous Cold War spies, face-to-face, he said, Steve, the real powers that be, you've never seen their faces on TV. So that just iterates and basically illustrates your point, Alex. And here's the thing that people got to understand. This thing is happening. Did you notice, too, the most mind-blowing thing in the last 2 weeks is almost instantly the rice famine happened overnight. Did you notice that? It wasn't even 24 hours.
Yes.
It was 12 hours.
They're really pushing it.
Yep, they're really pushing it. And then the point is, you know why? They're going to basically drive people to do what they told them to do, prepare for all this stuff, and then they're going to turn right around and go after the preparers legally. I got to tell you something. When they're going to take away your life, when they're going to take away your wife, when they're going to take away your kids, when they're going to take away your future, when they're going to take away your hope, your financial ability and your job, then you got to say, it's time to really speak up until I can no longer speak up. And then basically, if they come to take your life, God's given us all that mandate to basically self-protection, okay? And the thing is that I hear people arguing with me. I've got Christians, okay? Obviously, a lot of Christians listen to your show, listen to mine, but they tell me, I'm just going to go into a camp and be a witness for Jesus. I tell them they won't get a chance to open their mouth.
Well, they've been trained. Suddenly you see all the big preachers saying, it's good to be a slave of the government. That's a quote. It's good to be a slave. Submit. All government is of God. When
Absolutely. That's a lie.
Well, Steve, stay there. I'm going to just keep Steve rolling, John, during this break, and we'll come right back on the other side of the break. And I promise go directly to your phone calls. This is so important right now, though, on my internet streams. We're going to continue the radio show. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, Steve?
Yes.
Right now, we got quite an audience just listening on the web right now. Getting back to this, have you seen these video clips? I mean, not just that the preachers have been trained to do it or being paid. They're now coming out and saying, you're free to be a slave. Being a slave of government is good. It's of the Lord to do whatever they say. And this is so obvious. And that was Hitler's favorite Romans 13, totally out of context.
Absolutely. In Romans 13, it's a godly government is no fear to the people. But the point is to say that you submit to evil as submitting to God, then you're saying that God is evil. God is His nature. He is His Word, and nothing contrary to Scripture is true, and God doesn't contradict Himself. The point of all the Christians being martyred was they wouldn't submit to the state, which assumed it was God. Remember that?
Yes.
And so this thing it really pisses me off. I won't say that on the air, but it really does piss me off. Because, look, guess what? All the guys telling their parishioners that are all the super rich guys, okay? They're not going to give up their basically grub stake, They're going to betray. Well,
what they are is exactly, they're betrayers. They're smart. They know the evil's here. And that's a point I don't make enough, Steve, and maybe we make them when we get back, is that everybody that knows about the New World Order doesn't decide to join the freedom fighters. A lot of people hear this who are smart but who are sociopathic or who are afraid, and they decide to go ahead and go join the evil. And I want them to know that historically, those of you that actively serve the evil are statistically in more danger than people like me and Steve. Why is that, Steve?
Well, the reason it's that way because God has a way, Alex, and there is a supernatural element of basically His divine protection around guys like you and I, and the people that think that they're going to side with the devil and get to be basically at his mercy. The devil shows no mercy, but they're blinded, they're deceived, okay? They're being promised something that the devil will not give them, would not allow them even if he could, and God is basically saying, who is on the Lord's side, let him come to me, And I mean, it really is a fight of the most perilous and treacherous realm ever in existence, ever in history, Alex. But the bottom line is, I got to say this, is that you and I are both alive because people are praying for us. There are people behind the scenes that I'm aware of, I don't know their names, okay, that basically know that we're pleading for people. Look, all we can do is buy people time now. There was a time I thought we could turn it around. We can't do it. These guys are in force now. It's underway now. And look, I know that, years ago we thought it was underway then. But now everything is stacking up. We've never had food issues before. We've never had the dollar issue like we have it now. We've never had the surveillance society. Good night. DARPA's budget is like $1 trillion. It's not even $1 billion anymore. DARPA gets any money for anything they want. The real insects are dying so they can put their micro insects in the air to spy on us, okay?
I know, that's what I've seen, is there's even less birds.
Right, and you've heard the bats are dying. Listen, bats, people don't understand.
They eat bugs.
Yeah, but also they pollinate. And listen, if you wanted to initiate a zoonotic disease or a zoonotic epidemic, that means an insect-borne one, you would basically want to kill off anything that would interfere with your vector. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to release, and now they've got all these new aberrant strains of malaria. Listen, a person that worked for FEMA came by my office.
Steve, I'll tell you, we're about to go back live.
Okay.
But can you stay 15 minutes to the next hour, or you have to leave?
No, I'll stay with you.
Okay, we're going to go 15 over into the next hour, and then that's it, because I want to take some calls. I want to have time to finish up with this. We're going live right now. Here we go.